This is section B2 from the Design of Sites textbook, and this subject is about browsable content and how we're going to arrange information or arrange navigation buttons, and also how we're going to organize information on the page so that it's easy to identify and easy to use for our customers. We'll talk about organizational schemes, and organizational schemes refer to how our information and our navigational tools are organized on that page. The first example we'll look at is the hierarchical organization, and a good example of that is the Yahoo site. Slightly below your screenshot, I believe, is going to be is the button for shopping. And you'll see there's a list of types of information or categories of Yahoo sites over on the left side of the screen, and just below what you see on the screen is the shopping button has been selected, and when we select shopping, then we're given shopping categories, and those shopping categories cover are what we want to, or subcategories, I guess we should say. It would be a second level on this hierarchical organizational website, and underneath that shopping categories, we would select clothing, or maybe we're shopping for flowers or for sporting goods, that type of thing. But next we would select perhaps clothing and accessories. All right, and from that, selecting that button, then we would be taken to another, we'll say level, or where we could select, say, from men's clothing, women's clothing. There might be a category to select from shoes, accessories, jackets, whatever. Anyway, this would be, again, it's all in a hierarchical type of organization that we're going to click through or click down through until we get to the information that we're seeking. The other type of organization is the alphabetical organization, and with that we have our links and our buttons, our information organized alphabetically, and that it is organized according to the alphabet. The next is the chronological organization, and with the chronological organization, things are presented according to the time or sequence in which they occurred. In our example here, we have a page that allows us to select and get information about the presidents, and the presidents are listed in the order that they served. You'll see, first of all, George Washington being the first, and then it goes through in the time that the president served and in the order that they served. That is displayed, and you can find the information or start to look for the information according to, looking at the sequence in which they served. The next is the task-based organization, and in the task-based organization, our information and buttons and such are presented according to the task that is being carried out or being performed. And so, for instance, one example of that is Yahoo Maps. We first would, after accessing the Yahoo Maps site, we might want to get driving directions. And of course, the first thing we do is to enter the starting address, and then we're asked to provide the destination address. And our steps for carrying that out are determined according to the types of information and selections that we have to make in order to carry out this task. The same thing would be, for instance, in the example that we looked at, the Honda site, where you could basically quote, build and design your own car. And of course, that whole process and that whole task is very structured in letting you select different parts and features that you want on that car. The other type of site is the popularity-based organization. And the popularity-based organization, an example of that is the Billboard 100, and it is going to display and be arranged according to the popularity of the information that is going to be presented there, or the buttons, the links that are going to be presented there. Okay, with this, the book also gives us some suggestions, some guidelines for how we can structure our information. And it suggests using how we're going to organize this and structure it. The way that we might, as designers, might structure this might be totally different than, say, the customers that would be accessing our site. And so they suggest using this card sorting technique, or this card sorting method that we talked about in a previous class, where we're going to have our customers using cards, indexed cards, or post-it type note things. We're going to have them either create and label the topics or categories, and then we're going to have them create or label subtopics or subcategories, and we let the customer sort these out, and then we basically consider how they organize that, and we would want to use the suggestions from the customers. Again, our grouping, our association of task and topics and categories may be different than what our customers would actually be, have their concept of how something is structured. So we're going to use the customer in organizing our site. Also, provide a strong information sense. Okay, and in here, information sense, the textbook's definition: the perceived proximity to desired information delivered by cues such as text, link names, images, headings, grouping, page layout, and previous pages seen. Basically, information sense are clues or provided to the customer on where the information is that the customer is trying to access or get to, or it is also clues about the next step that the customer needs to select to perform the task that they're trying to complete. And we see these information sense all the time with, say, the television or the news sites. And we see on those websites, we see that the text is generally a blue color that indicates kind of that it is a link. We see like the headline or a tease of a headline, and if we want to finish or read the entire story on this, or read more about this story, then we know to click on that headline or that link. Anyway, that link serves as an information sent. It's pointing us to the information that we're trying to find. Here's an example on information sense, and this is from one of those big box hardware home stores. And it was taken recently, and so we have a holiday category up at the top. But if you look over to the under that, you'll see that their normal listings are for appliances, and all of that is listed in alphabetical order. Okay, so we select, first of all, we're looking for, say, we would be looking for, say, a Christmas tree, or maybe Christmas tree decorations, okay? We would select on holiday, a clue. We are looking for things related to that Christmas tree or holiday tree, whatever we want to call it, okay? Then, after we select holiday, then we are presented an icon and the text, which is Christmas trees and accessories. So the Christmas trees and accessories is also an information hint. Clicking on that information hint, or clicking on that Christmas trees and accessories, that information sent, then it's going to then present us with another page and some more information, and it's basically going to hopefully step us through where we can find information about the different Christmas trees. Okay? All right. Another suggestion in design from our book is that we want to provide ways that our customers can find their way back. We want our customers to feel comfortable in browsing our site. We want them to feel adventurous and in that they can seek out and keep reading, keep on exploring our site. But they do not have to worry about getting lost. There's always a way. There's always an icon. There's a tab. There's something there that's going to allow the customer to get back to a place where they can recall where they are or identify where they are. And so anyway, as the book says here, this is accomplished by the links on the tab rows. And most of you students in designing your websites, most of you have used the tab row approach. In other words, there's a group of links up at towards the top of the page that we can always get back to home or back to a previous, say, category or that we've looked at. So anyway, we'll take a look at that in just a second. Another method is the breadcrumbs, and breadcrumbs just inform the user exactly what categories or how they linked or they arrived at the place that they're at. So you can see this user started off looking at appliances and then cooking, looked under range hoods, and then looked at the downdraft range hood, which popped up this little window that they can close. But anyway, the breadcrumbs generally can be clicked on and linked back to a previous, we'll say, level, and the customer can easily navigate. Here are the tab rows that we talked about. You can see it's easy to get back to a location that you were. All right, the book also suggests not putting too much content on the page. Don't ever overwhelm the customer with too much information. Also, factors on the page that contribute to being overwhelmed with the information are fonts that are too small. Having to put extra effort into reading a font that's been used that is too small can be seeming overwhelming and a task. Also, sections on the page are indistinguishable. In other words, we got several paragraphs or a lot of information, and we don't. It's just there's no clue. There's no suggestion as to what that section is about. Okay. There's also no clear hierarchy of content. An example of too much and no hierarchical organization is when you look at a page like this, and it is just a page. There is no organization. It can be text, just like it was like a regular book, that we got from the library, or a magazine article. And as we've talked about, people don't use, or they don't read a web page like they do a book or a magazine. Okay, they read it and they scan for the information they're seeking. Okay, to reduce information overload, okay, design it so your customer can scan to find what they seek. Instead, if we have a page with a lot of text on it, just simply some type of short description about what is in that paragraph. If there's 4 paragraphs on that page, just a small sentence or a group of, phrase or a phrase to describe what that is contained in that paragraph. It's going to help us find the information that we're looking. Also, lay out each page with a clear grid layout. And we're going to look at the EPA site. And this EPA site, in the book, they give us an older version of this website. But you can see that it is clearly arranged and laid out so that we have topics that we might want to read on. Again, this is from the Environmental Protection Agency. The different categories of information we'd be wanting to read are all laid out and clearly indicated exactly what type of information that is. And so anyway, yeah, the middle section there that contains the blue topics. The heading above that is popular topics. And then you also have under the map over there of the United States, it's just general info by state. And so anyway, I'm looking at, and actually those got left off of the screenshots when we're recording here. Okay. Create a strong visual hierarchy with consistent content areas. In other words, we may want that with, for instance, we left the map on the Environmental Protection Agency. That map, maybe we want to use that as much as possible. Things that, like graphical type stuff, the customer could click on would be placed in that location. The text and labels type stuff, buttons and links, could be in that middle section. And then your more kind of like other type of information would be in that third column. So use a consistent grid layout there as you're going. All right, and keep these patterns, okay, that we've been talking about, okay? And they are patterns. They've been in use. The grid layout, has a standard format, as well as the hierarchies and tab rows. All of those are patterns that we've known and are used to using, okay?